So hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and I think my voice is acting up a little bit, but I can't tell. I am sick and I don't know what the English expression for it is, we call it zalehliushi, it's where you can't hear very well, but it feels like my voice is acting up a little bit. So if it is, I'm sorry. But anyway, I finally finished my Harrow build, so let's check it out. So it's a 3 Forma build where I've added 2 Ds and a V. The aura I went for is Corrosive Projection, which removes 30% of the enemy armor. This is really strong, especially in high levels, but you can use Energy Siphon if you're worried that you're going to screw up your energy management through Turable. So if you're worried that you pump all your energy into Turable and then don't get enough kills to make it worthwhile, you can use Energy Siphon instead. Then I'm using Prime Continuity for power duration, which is really strong. It gives you longer crowd control on Condemn, gives you more duration for every 100 shields you sacrifice from Penance, it gives you longer Turable, and it extends both effects from Covenant. Then I've added Stretch for a little bit of power range, and this is mostly for Condemn, so the line is a little bit wider and it's easier to hit enemies that are a little bit to the side of your crosshair, but it also helps a lot in public matches with Turable because it just increases the aura in which you restore energy. However, if you only want to play solo or in a pre-made party, you don't really need Stretch or any kind of range because you can just tell people to stand close to you. And if that's the case for you, you can put on something like Constitution for even more power duration, or even Natural Talent for faster casting animations. Then I've added Intensify and Power Drift for 45% extra power strength, and this just gives you more shields per enemy hit with Covenant. It increases the lifesteal, fire rate, and reload speed bonus you get from Penance. It gives you more energy through Turable, and it makes it a lot easier to stack your Covenant. Then I've added Primed Flow and Streamline. Primed Flow so that I can bank a lot of energy and get really beefy Turables with massive returns. And Streamline, which just makes everything cheaper, so I can use my abilities far more often and be a lot more effective. And finally, it wouldn't be me if I didn't have a buttload of defensive mods because I just love playing tanks. So I'm running Vitality, Redirection, and Primed Vigor, which gives me almost 1000 health and close to 1500 shields. And this allows me to get almost 4000 overshields. And even though overshields or shields in general aren't as good as health with beefy armor, it still allows me to survive far more than I otherwise would, which is good because I love playing Harrow in high-level missions like sorties and stuff like that. Now, my weapon of choice for Harrow is Soma Prime. It is a hit scan weapon, and it's pretty accurate even with heavy caliber, so it's really easy to get headshots with it. But it also has an above-average crit multiplier, so it scales really well with Covenant. I mean, look at those red crits, that is just disgusting. I've tried a lot of different weapons with Harrow, and Soma Prime is by far my favorite, because it allows me to do things like this. Mamma mia, look at all that damage. And the energy as well, that was like, what, 900 energy in one swoop. Now this setup and Harrow in general isn't very effective if you're just spamming random abilities, so what you want to do, or at least what I do, is I charge my Turable as much as I want, then I run into a group of enemies, pop Covenant, pop Penance to sacrifice my shields, and when I feel my Covenant has been stacked enough, I condemn the enemies to get my shields back. And then you just aim down sights and go... Everybody's dead, Dave. Now the setup does work in public matches as well, but it depends on your team composition and on your teammates. In this match I had another Harrow and I had Mesa as well, so there was quite a bit of competition for the kills. And if this happens, which it will in most public matches, you have to run around a little bit and go for the kills instead of waiting for the enemies to come to you. I also tend to use Covenant more defensively rather than popping it as soon as the buff runs out, because chances are people are just ruffle stomping the enemies before they can do any damage to them. Though what you can do is run ahead into one of the spawning rooms and pop Covenant there so you can stack it up yourself. Harrow has been out for about a week right now, and I've only played a handful of missions where I swapped to a different frame. I just really like Harrow in general, and this setup makes him incredibly powerful if you know what you're doing and you're not just mashing buttons. So I would definitely recommend you try this setup out, it is a lot of fun. And that's pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching as always, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.